Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to one more session of Sitecore User Group India. This session mostly we're talking about the Sitecore Symposium 2022 and trying to catch up. We have our speaker Amitabh Vyas, who is 3-time Sitecore Technology MVP. So over to you, Amitabh.
Thanks, Rajesh. First of all, thank you, Sitecore User Group India, to organizing this event and giving me an opportunity to present. My talk today is about Johnson Controls met every moment at Sitecore Symposium this year. We, a team of 7 from Johnson Controls, attended Sitecore Symposium this year with a perfect mix of expertise and backgrounds like architects, marketers, strategists, and business partners. This symposium, we also had a talk with one of our implementation partner, Icreon, about how Sitecore empowers our digital platform transformation initiatives and how we are continuously evolving. We had a planned agenda and expectation attending Symposium this year, and in this talk today, I'm going to share how Symposium helped us fine-tuning our strategies, especially towards the path to go composable. A brief introduction about myself. Amitabh Vyas here, 15 plus years in IT, 10 plus years in Sitecore. I'm a 3-time Sitecore Technology MVP and currently working as a platform architect at Johnson Controls. These are the social media channels I'm available on. I'm on Twitter. This is my LinkedIn profile. I have a technical blog, sitecorecompetencies.com. This is my personal email ID. And yes, I'm on Sitecore Slack and Sitecore Stack Exchange. Before we go any further, I would like to understand my audience. So I would be pasting a quick survey in the chat. Please let me know if you find any issues accessing that survey. There are basically 3 main questions, which I would prefer if you can answer and click on the done button. The first question is, the current Sitecore project or projects you are working on, are you currently on Sitecore XP, which is Sitecore Experience Platform? The second question is, are you using all of the features of Sitecore Experience Platform? There are 3 possible options. If you are using Sitecore XP only for content management or the content operations, or if you are using Sitecore XP more than just a CM, but not using it fully, maybe you are using the features like personalizations, A/B testing, and so on and so forth, but you are not fully utilizing all of the features of Sitecore Experience Platform. And third answer is, if you are using the full-fledged experience platform by using each and every functionality. When I say each and every functionality, I'm talking about for sure content operations and content management, personalization, A/B testing, XDB, Cortex, XConnect, EXM, and so on and so forth. And the third question is, till the date, what was the maximum number of websites you created on a single Sitecore instance? We would be referring the survey into the upcoming slides. So please select the relevant answer and click on done. This is how our agenda looks like today. We will talk a brief about what Johnson Control is. What is the difference between a monolith and a composable architecture? How to prepare a business case for your organization leadership to go composable. What is the right way to go composable? In whenever I use term JCI, which means Johnson Controls, in Johnson Controls, what are our challenges? What are our mitigation plans now, and what were our mitigation plans before we went to Symposium? And then we would be talking about new Sitecore product launches which took place at Sitecore Symposium this year. So what is Johnson Controls? Please don't get confused between Johnson Controls and Johnson & Johnson, because we do not sell shampoos. Johnson Control is a global diversified technology and a multi-industrial leader serving a wide range of customers in more than 150 countries with a 23 billion worth of revenue. We are more than 100K employees, over 2,000 locations worldwide. And when I say multi-industrial, we are in building automation and controls, HVAC equipments, industrial refrigeration, fire hazard, water and mechanical, fire detection, security, and retail. Post-merger with another company named Tyco in 2017, where two giants, Johnson Control and Tyco, in the industry coming together, we found ourselves in this scenario. We ended up with hundreds and hundreds of websites with a huge variety of maturity and tech stack. We have WordPress, Expression Engine, SharePoint, homegrown CMSs, .NET website, PHP websites, and many more. This type of complexity comes with a cost in dollars, but especially in customer experience. Every website had its own look and feel, and we were missing a centralized branding experience. For a few years, we were running 4 siloed Sitecore instances with shared code base, along with all the non-Sitecore websites on the different platforms as well. Then in 2019, we started building a strategic, centralized, globally shared architecture, putting the Sitecore SXA at the heart. and started migrating all the legacy Sitecore and non-Sitecore applications or website to this new ecosystem. And this is how our architecture looks. What we learned at Symposium is we are not alone. We had lots of talks and presentations by different vendors, different companies, and different Sitecore customers talking about the same journey where we started from and where we are as of today. They are also managing multiple websites on a single Sitecore instance, and they are also having a huge variety of tech stack into their in their organization. So my talk today is not specifically to Johnson Control, but it relates to each and every customer who is on Sitecore Experience platform as of today. And second thing which we learned is we are well positioned. We are on Sitecore 9.2 right now, using Sitecore SXA. We are hosted on Azure PaaS, and we are using technologies like Covio and Search Stacks and so on and so forth. And especially being on a version which is below Sitecore 10, we are well positioned ourselves to start thinking about going composable. Why? We would be talking about the into the upcoming slides. And this is how our current architecture looks like from a bird eye view as of today. For sure, there are a lot of hidden complexities behind these black boxes. So far, we have migrated 45 plus websites on this Sitecore, this new Sitecore platform, and we are continuously migrating. Based on our recent website inventory, we are expecting around 350 websites hosted on this new Sitecore architecture. So let's talk about what is the difference between a monolith and a composable architecture. Sitecore Symposium this year was all about a single buzzword: composable. We had lots of talks from different business partners and customers sharing their journey to composable, whether they are already migrated themselves to a composable world, or they are in the planning phase to go composable. Till today, you may have seen a lot of diagrams talking about the difference between a monolith and a composable architecture. But my favorite definition till today is this, which is a friend from New Zealand, Bruce Davis, who shared this slide at his theater session at Symposium this year. So you can see into the image in the left that how a single system serving multiple functions and multiple functionalities can be somehow overloaded, overburdened, and sometimes insufficient, and also may be equipped with a lot of unwanted features which we don't even need. Rather than going that route, you can pick the best instruments and the best musicians of your choice from the market and design your own orchestra. And that is the difference between a monolith DXP and a composable DXP. If we talk in terms of our Sitecore ecosystem, and if we talk about Sitecore XP is a monolith architecture because Sitecore XP comes as a single platform bundled with a lots of features like personalization, marketing automation, XDB, XConnect, Cortex, and so on and so forth. If we are going to buy Sitecore XP, we have to buy each and every functionality which is bundled with the Sitecore XP platform. Doesn't matter if we need that functionality or not. Rather than on the opposite side, the composable is, as of today, if I'm only using the content management part of the house and I don't need features like Cortex or marketing automation, I will not buy, and those features and functionalities would not be part of my architecture. Down the line, when I feel that my platform is now matured enough to start adopting features like personalizations and so on and so forth, that is the place where I can go and add those specific functionalities into my MarTech architecture. So how to prepare a business case to go composable? If we talk about a Sitecore XP0 monolith architecture, it is basically built of Sitecore Experience Manager and Sitecore Experience Platform. Whenever we install a Sitecore vanilla instance, doesn't matter which hosting platform you are using, you might be on premises, you might be on Azure IaaS, Azure PaaS, or even Docker containers. When you install a vanilla Sitecore instance, by default, it comes with lots and lots of databases, web services, index workers, and so on and so forth, which consist of content operations, lead generation, analytics and personalization, machine learning and AI, marketing automation, and A/B testing. Which means when you install a vanilla Sitecore XP0 instance, by default, it comes with 54 resources. I'm still not talking about any further scale up or scale out you would be doing based on your requirement. Now, if we talk about a typical SDLC process in any organizations, we are talking about 4 different environments: dev, QA, staging, and production, which means that you are managing 4 different environments into your Sitecore ecosystem. And if we are having 54 resources per environment, we are talking about 216 resources throughout these 4 different environments which we are talking about. But the question is, are we really using all the Sitecore experience platform features, or we are just using few of them? Which means that, especially if I'm talking about Johnson Controls, where we are having, we are only using the content operation side of the experience platform, which means out of these 54 resources per environment, we are just using 15 resources, which are sufficient enough to run your CM and CD altogether. Which means there are out of these 216, there are 156 resources which we are currently maintaining and paying for those resources in terms of the Sitecore cost, Sitecore license cost, and the Azure hosting cost as well. What does that mean? That if we are not using these 156 resources, why we should be paying for these, and why we should be taking the burden of maintaining these 156 resources each and every day? So what we have decided is our first steps toward going composable is to sunset this 156 resources by scaling down from XP to XM. We would be scaling down our all the Sitecore ecosystem from experience platform to experience management. Let's do a quick look onto the survey result, how those are looking like. One second. So these are our survey result. We have 6 submissions. Out of those, each and every one is on Sitecore XP as of today. There are 5 votes who are using just few of the features of Sitecore Experience Platform on top of this. The all the features belong to the content management, and there is just one submission who is using the end-to-end Sitecore Experience features. What does that mean? If we talk about the saving the money, especially on going from XP to XM, based on our analysis, we would be saving at least 30 to 40% of Azure hosting and maintenance cost if we are scaling down from XP to XM. And we can easily do that because we are not using any of the feature of experience platform apart from content management. And especially when we talk about the transactional cost of XDB resources, which are very expensive and based on your website traffic. Plus, if you are having disaster recovery environments along with SQL geo replications, then heavy shard databases are very expensive to sync between 2 different data centers. On the other hand, if we talk about the Sitecore, saving the money on the Sitecore license cost, during Sitecore Symposium this year, one of the most discussed topic was getting clarity on Sitecore packaging and costing, especially for the customers moving from the perpetual to subscription-based model, and also for the clients like us who are planning to scale down their XP to XM. The way I look at it, if a client is scaling down from XP to XM, they would be using they would be losing the features like XDB, XConnect, marketing automation, Cortex, etc. So therefore, they should be expecting a significant fall into the licensing cost because they would be using just the experience management part of the feature, not the entire experience platform. So that cost which they would be saving, they can use that specific cost to budget by adding additional composable DXP platforms, which was introduced by Sitecore this year and the previous Sitecore Symposium, and have those DXP platform added to their ecosystem. So if you are ready to go composable, reach out to your Sitecore sales rep, discuss about your composable journey, and see what you can save onto the Sitecore side of licensing cost and so on and so forth. So what is the right way to go composable for you? There are 3 main components of a DXP: presentation, content management, and personalization and analytics. The journey toward composable is a 3-step process. First, move your product ownership to your customer experience ownership across these 3 components. Second would be make sure that your content is granular so that it can be assembled more efficiently. And third, and the most important, is decouple your front end from your back end, hence go headless. There are a lot of benefits to go composable that you will be paying what you are using. Like the example which I took for the monolith architecture, where we are paying for all of those features which we are not using. But if we are going composable, we would be picking only those specific platform which we are using at the moment, and down the line when we think that we are matured enough to keep on adding new platform, that is the place where we will reach out to Sitecore. And this is not specific to Sitecore, because one of the beauty of one of the beauty going composable is you can pick the best breed out of the market. So if you think that you are ready to implement personalization on your platform, and you think that Sitecore personalize as a DXP platform is not fulfilling your business requirement, or that is a bit expensive and so on and so forth, that is the place you can go into the market, see what are the other platforms providing the personalization feature, and you can have those specific other platforms added to your architecture, because that is one of the beauty to go composable. So you would be choosing what is right for you, and that is the place where you would be start composing your own DXP with best of breed of the platform which are right for you. And there is no golden template for that, because if we talk about uh, if we talk about CDP, which is customer data platform, maybe for Johnson Control, Sitecore CDP is the best fit, but it is not fulfilling your requirement, or the uh, the defined budget which you want to use for the CDP platform. That is the place in you can go into the market and explore other CDP platforms like Telium or Oracle and so on and so forth. So it's on you that you can go into the market and pick the right one, and that is the true definition of being composable. This decision tree, which I created recently, talks about a journey of a customer who want to go composable. Doesn't matter which hosting platform you are using. You might be on premises, you might be on IaaS, you might be on private cloud, you might be on managed cloud and so on and so forth. Or even you are entirely new to the Sitecore ecosystem and you have just purchased, you just start thinking about adding Sitecore into your specific ecosystem and so on and so forth. So let's traverse through this specific decision tree and see what it is talking about. The first question is, where are you starting from? Are you a new Sitecore customer? If yes, are you looking for a lightweight, headless digital experience platform where you are planning to manage a small website like microsite and so on and so forth, and you are not having requirements to customize your experience platform or customize your XM? If that is the case, then you can go and by a recent Sitecore platform which was launched during Sitecore Symposium, which is Sitecore Content Hub 1. We will talk about this platform into the upcoming slides. And then you have a whole list of the different DXP platforms which are being offered by Sitecore. If you are looking for commerce, you can go with a combo of Order Cloud and Discover. If you're looking for marketing automation, you can go for Sitecore Send. If you're looking for an AI-driven search, then Sitecore Search is a recent launch by Sitecore Symposium this year. If you're looking for DAM, you can go for Sitecore Content Hub. If you're looking for content strategy and analytics, that is the place you can go for Content Hub Operations. On the other side, if you are an existing Sitecore customer, then there are two questions. Which Sitecore version you are currently on? If you are already on Sitecore 10.x plus, then your path toward composable is easy. Why? We would be talking into the upcoming slides. So if you are already on Sitecore 10.x, maybe Sitecore 10.1 or Sitecore 10.2 and so on and so forth. And if you think that you are still not ready to go composable, you can keep on upgrading your Sitecore versions. Like if you talk about, if you're on Sitecore 10.1 right now, Sitecore 10.3 was launched at Sitecore Symposium this year, which we would be talking into the upcoming slides. So if you think that you are not ready to go, if you are not ready to go composable, you can be onto the monolith architecture, and you can keep on upgrading like the way we are doing from last 10 to 15 years and so on and so forth. But if you are on a version which is below Sitecore 10, that changes the story a bit, because if you are on Sitecore 10 and if you are not ready to go composable, then you can keep on doing the same thing which we are doing from last 10 years. But if you are on a version Sitecore below 10, then I believe you are a perfect use case to start thinking about going composable. And the first step which you would be doing towards going composable is scaling down from XP to XM. Then have your XM upgraded to the Sitecore latest version, which is Sitecore 10.3, because that is the only version so far which is supporting Next.js, and that is the only language which is being supported by XM Cloud, which is a SaaS-based platform provided by Sitecore. So if we talk about Johnson Controls, we are on Sitecore 9.2 right now. We would be scaling down from XP to XM. We would be upgrading our XP to Sitecore 10.3, which will enable us to start rebuilding our .NET MVC components using Next.js to go headless. And that is the place we can think about migrating our platform to XM Cloud, which would be our first or the second step toward composable. And then the question is, what type of personalization you are looking for? Are you looking for personalization at scale? Then you can go and choose the Sitecore Personalize. And if you think that you are just taking baby steps toward the Sitecore personalization and you are not looking for Sitecore personalization at a scale, then there are a lot of out-of-the-box Sitecore personalization feature provided by XM Cloud. You can start using that, but please note these comes with a limited retention period, I believe somewhere between 30 to 60 days. And then if you are looking for a 360-degree analytics of your customer, that is the place where you can go and choose Sitecore CDP. So what are the main challenges Johnson Control is facing as of today, and what were our mitigation plan before going to Symposium, and how those are changed as of today? We are on Sitecore 9.2, as I mentioned, and the mainstream support for Sitecore 9.2 is ending this December 2022. So we need to take a decision, and this is the right time to take a decision whether we want to stay on monolith or we can start our journey toward composable. As I mentioned that we would be migrating 350 websites on this platform. So we are looking for a sustainable platform who should be capable enough to handle these 350 websites. And what we are feeling is more and more websites which we are migrating to this Sitecore ecosystem. It is increasing the complexity of the content operation and making the life of the content editor much and much difficult day by day. And since we are not using any of the personalization feature, technically we are catering static content to each and every customer who is coming to our website. So we need to enhance the website visitor experience by having that much of website onto the platform. And that is the place we would be badly needing a 360-degree view of our website visitor. And there are a lot of other challenges as well. So what we were thinking before going to Symposium is to stay on the monolith architecture, to stay on Azure PaaS, to upgrade the Sitecore to the latest Sitecore version, which is as of today is Sitecore 10.3, to scale up and scale out the platform based on the load and the website traffic which we would be having on the platform, and then take our first step toward using those out-of-the-box Sitecore XP personalization and A/B testing feature, and extend the use of XDB and take the path towards the AI and the Cortex, and keep on evolving. What we are thinking as of now, as I mentioned multiple times on this talk, is our first step is going to scale down from XP to XMP, which is Experience Management Platform. There are two ways to do that. Either we can go greenfield, or we can scale down our existing platform, which we are managing from all the 4 to 6 environments which we are having into our whole ecosystem. And both the approaches which have its own pros and cons, where greenfield is much cleaner but expensive. When I say greenfield is, if we are planning to scale down from XP to XM, we would be technically installing the XM topology of Sitecore 10.3 repointing all our existing environments when it comes to DevOps, when it comes to DNS, when it comes to WAF, when it comes to CDN, disaster recovery, integrations, and so on and so forth, which is going to be very expensive in terms of the implementation. And it would be adding a bit of complexity as well. Whether if you talk about scale down, that is cheaper, but that might be error prone. What we would be doing into that specific approach is we would be deleting all those XP related roles, databases, so and so forth. Like if you talk about reporting, processing, XDB, XConnect, and so on and so forth, which are part of XDB, we would be deleting that. For sure, that is going to be pretty straightforward. But that is not just sufficient to delete those experience platform roles. We also need to do certain set of cleanup on our CM and CD, because the CM on XP and the CM on XM is different, and CD on XP and CM and the CD on XM is also different. Because when we install a vanilla Sitecore XP, the XM, the CM and the CD contains a lot of DLLs, a lot of configuration files, and a lot of other files as well, which are specific to the experience platform feature. If I take an example of the connection string, it consists of all the connection string of those different experience platform roles like reporting, processing, and so on and so forth. So we need to plan how we are going to clean up the CM and CD. For sure, that is going to be a bit of manual exercise, but if we want to save the budget, we would be prefer to go scale down by being more cautious when we are doing a cleanup onto the CM and CD environments. As a next step, we would be upgrading from Sitecore 9.2 to Sitecore 10.3. That is the place where we would be adding the first composable DXP platform, Sitecore Personalize, to our ecosystem and start using the personalization feature of Sitecore Personalize. And that is the place where we would be start rewriting our .NET MVC component using next.js, and that would be our first step to go headless. But the question is why we cannot do that today? As I mentioned, that if we are going to go composable, and in the future, if we want to migrate from Azure PaaS to XM Cloud, the only language as of today XM Cloud is supporting, that is next.js. And since we are on Sitecore 9.2 as of today, and if we want to go headless, we cannot go with next.js because any of the version below Sitecore 10 does not support next.js. So if we think futuristic, if we want to go to XM Cloud, we have to upgrade ourselves to Sitecore 10.3 so we can start building our component using next.js and start going headless. Is that going to be a big bang or an incremental approach? The difference between the big bang and incremental is if you are using a lot of customized component on your platform, and if you need to rewrite everything, and if you are managing just 2 or 3 websites on your platform, then you can plan to go big bang. But in our scenario, we are already having 45 plus website on our platform. And if we talk about step 4, we are tentatively looking at 1 year down the line. By that time, we would be having at least 100 plus website hosted on this platform. So we for sure cannot go with a big bang approach. We need to go incremental. So what we would be doing is we would be starting with small or the medium size website, have those rewriting onto the Next.js platform, and that is the place where we would be slowly start migrating all those existing websites which are part of the current ecosystem. And that is the place where we need to take a decision whether we want to stay on private cloud. If we are going with next.js, our private cloud is going to be Vercel based, or if we want to migrate to XM Cloud. XM Cloud as of today, I think it need a little bit more sunshine because there are a lot of critical features which are missing from the XM Cloud, especially if we talk about Sitecore forms. XM Cloud as of today does not support Sitecore forms, and there are tentative timeline because that 5 to 6 months down the line, there might be an option to start using the Sitecore form onto the Sitecore XM Cloud. But if you talk about step 5 in our scenario, we are talking about 1 to 2 years down the line as of today. And by that time, I'm pretty confident that the XM Cloud as a platform would be a right fit for each and every customer who want to go composable and who want to migrate their Sitecore ecosystem to a SaaS-based platform. And that is the place where we would be start thinking about adding a CDP in our ecosystem. Again, when it comes to CDP, it is not necessary that we need to go with Sitecore CDP itself. We have other choices in the market as well. And that is the place we would be continuously evolving. So let's talk about the new product launches which took place into the Sitecore Symposium this year. The Sitecore Chief Product Officer Dev O'Flanagan announced two platform offerings. One is all-in-one, and second is next gen composable DXP. All-in-one is basically for all of the customers who are not ready to go composable and who want to stay on the monolith architecture. And whereas on the other hand, all of the customers who are either new to the Sitecore platform and who thinks that those are ready to go composable, that is the place we have 3 different categories of the composable DXP. The blue tiles or the blue hexagons representing the Content Cloud, where we are having Search, XM Cloud, Content Hub 1, Content Hub DEM, and Content Hub Operations. Whereas the red tiles belongs to the Engagement Cloud, which is Sitecore Connect, Sitecore Sand, Sitecore CDP, and the Sitecore Personalize. And last but not the least, the light blue or the teal belongs to the Commerce Cloud. For everyone who thinks that those are still not ready to go composable, Sitecore 10.3 is here. That was announced at Sitecore Symposium this year. Sitecore 10.3 is basically focused on smooth integration with Sitecore SaaS solutions and designed to ease the path toward composable. So what is the migration path for all these customers to go composable? There are 3 different scenarios which he talked into his talk at the Sitecore Symposium. The first category is you can stay on the Sitecore XP if you are a new Sitecore customer already on Sitecore 10.x, maybe 10.1 or 10.2, and you still have a mainstream support with in your hands, maybe like 2 or 3 years down the line, and you are still preparing your mindset to go composable. The second, who are using the Sitecore XP functionality beyond experience content management. And the third, for the organizations who are still on premises, because I have worked with a couple of clients in the past, is due to a lot of data security reason, they do not want to migrate their Sitecore ecosystem even to cloud, forget about a SaaS-based platform. So for all these 3 type of categories, it would be preferable to upgrade their ecosystem to Sitecore 10.3 and stay on monolith. The second scenario is you can still stay on XP, but you can go composable for the rest of the DXP platform, and you can start adding features on the platforms like Sitecore Personalize and the Sitecore CDP. And the third category is for the customer who are ready to go composable. They can migrate to XM Cloud and start features and the platforms like Sitecore CDP and the Personalize. These are good for the organizations who are an older versions, like I mentioned, below Sitecore 10. The perfect example is Johnson Controls, and who are not managing the experience platform investment and who are not using the experience platform features and functionalities, and so on and so forth. Along with Sitecore 10.3, headless SXA was also launched this year. Headless SXA is basically bringing the useful parts of the Sitecore Experience Accelerator to headless using Next.js only. The only language, as I mentioned, which is being supported by Headless.js is Next.js. Sorry, Headless SXA is Next.js, where there's one difference. If we talk about the SXA as of today, before headless, it comes with more than 100 out of the box component bundled in. Whereas with Sitecore headless SXA, it is not coming with 100 plus component but only with a dozen of headless component being part of the default package. But there is also an option to extend or create your own components based on your business need. And also please note there is a confusion always that you can still migrate your Sitecore ecosystem to Sitecore 10.3, and you can also upgrade your Sitecore SXA to Sitecore 10.3, but it is not mandatory for you to go headless SXA. You can still be on Sitecore 10.3 and still keep on using your non-headless SXA platform. The next platform which was launched during Sitecore Symposium this year is Sitecore Content Hub 1. It's a lightweight headless CMS to create, manage, and deliver content for any touch point with an agile omni-channel CMS. I read it somewhere that it is styled as a little brother of XM Cloud, a very lightweight headless CMS mainly designed for the small scale websites or the microsites who are not looking to customize anything onto the XM. If you want to dig deeper, Content Hub 1 basically is a simpler CMS, I would say, that lets you build the content type, populate them, and access them via an API. And mainly designed for the organizations who are not looking to customize anything onto the XM. So the question is, what is the difference between XM Cloud and Content Hub 1? Because both are headless CMSs, right? The way I would define it, the Content Hub 1 is basically a omni-channel content modeling and a headless delivery, whereas XM Cloud is a SaaS version of XP, which is what you see, what you get, content authoring, layout, and the headless delivery on a SaaS-based platform. The next DXP platform which was launched during Symposium this year was Sitecore Search, which is an AI-driven personalized search engine capable enough to provide the features and functionality to search the content beyond text. You can also have your digital assets part of this specific search platform as well. This is basically derived from a Sitecore earlier acquisitions named Reflections. Please make sure that, or please make note that the Sitecore Search is different than Sitecore Discover. Don't get confused, because Sitecore Discover is basically for the interactive product search for your e-commerce website, and that is best fit for the Order Cloud if you're looking for an e-commerce website experience. Taking a step deeper into this, when it comes to search, it helps you elevate the content by providing fast predictive search with deep content insights and built-in multilingual management, and it can work not only on your composable Sitecore environment, but your Sitecore XP as well, like a plug-and-play platform. If I take an example of Search Stacks and Covey and so on and so forth, so that is a new platform launched by Sitecore. If you want to use the Sitecore Search as part of your architecture as well. The next platform which was launched during Sitecore Symposium was Sitecore Connect. We had looked at all those different tiles, like we talked about Sitecore XM Cloud, we talked about Sitecore Personalize, Content Hub 1, Order Cloud, and so on and so forth. With all these products coming together, the integration between these platforms becomes a critical need. How you are going to integrate your Sitecore XM Cloud with Sitecore Personalize or Sitecore Order Cloud and so on and so forth. And to resolve this, Sitecore have launched Sitecore Connect, which is a minimum code integration platform based on an existing Sitecore platform called Workato. Sitecore defines Sitecore Connect as an iPaaS, which is integration platform as a service. And the next platform, which was launched during Sitecore Symposium, and the last platform which was launched during Sitecore Symposium was Sitecore Cloud Portal, which is basically with a portfolio of products. It is very important to have a single interface which makes them easier to use together. The Sitecore Cloud Portal is nothing, basically it is providing a front door to not only managing Sitecore tools, but the tools outside the Sitecore ecosystem as well. Like if we talk about, if we want to manage the XM Cloud, Sand and Content Hub 1, but you also want to manage the third-party integration with your Sitecore, Sitecore composable DXP like Marketo or Salesforce or Teams and so on. So that is the place the Sitecore Cloud Portal is going to help you. And that is the end of my talk. I'm open for questions or any of the suggestions you have.
Yeah, we just see a comment like awesome job, Abhida from Praful. No questions yet.
Oh, great. If there are no questions, if they have done a great job, or if I have not provided much of the information to the folks to understand.
Yeah, for our participant, yes, we will be sharing the recording. Once it's available, I will download it, upload it to our YouTube channel. That's where the recording can be referenced.
Perfect. Sure. I mean, now content of one, you can paste your question in the chat, and I would be more than happy to answer. Or there are a lot of YouTube videos or already posted by the different Sitecore community friends on Sitecore Content Hub 1. And if you are working with any of the Sitecore partner, you can ask for your access and start exploring the Sitecore Content Hub 1 as a platform. Any more questions? How to host Sitecore on Vercel? Oh, it's a big topic. So basically, if you are on Sitecore MVC right now, the first thing you need to do is to decouple your front end from your backend, which means you would be rewriting all of your component using next.js. And once you are on next.js, if you look at the internal architecture of either Content Hub 1 or XM Cloud, Sitecore Experience Edge is the core of all of this platform, and that is the place you can use Vercel as a hosting platform to host your front end, which is being written on next.js as a platform. Facing issues with that might be a right question for Sitecore Slack if you want to ask on the right channel, not on the stock. Okay, if there are no more questions, Paresh, then I think.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Abhida, for doing this. I know it's like 11:30 right now, but we wanted to make sure all our India audience, they have their time, they have their morning time, and we want to present. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me an opportunity to present.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, okay, bye.
Take care.